How should I know? She could have taken them from the hospital on one of her visits to her father, couldn't she?
Your fingerprints are on the box.
I work at the hospital. Could be a coincidence. I wouldn't put it past her, getting in my locker and taking them from there.
Keeping needles in your locker, that's standard for a nurse?
Hell, I keep all kinds of things in my locker. Not storing, more like dropping stuff off when I'm on my way to here or coming from there, you know.
We're talking employee locker? Here at the hospital?
I suppose we are. No big deal, right? Don't you have a locker at work? I have nothing else to say.
Nice work. Time to breathe some fresh air into that locker of his and see what he's hiding. I'll call a judge.
Look familiar? Inside smells like blood.
They aren't Carrie's, though I can see why you might assume that. You see, a patient came through the ER today, covered in blood, and I was supposed to incinerate those, but I knew I wouldn't have time till later, so I just stuffed them in my locker. I told you, a lot of things get dropped off there. I'm a busy guy.
I see. So if we test that blood, it'll match your ER patient and not Carrie Kennelly?
One would think.
Definitely Carrie Kennelly. But what did Alex do with the body? This may have started out as a tomato juice jug, but it wound up filled with another kind of red. Maybe our victim was trying to escape out the window. No surprise here. This is the bag that left a torn piece on Carrie's windowsill.
Like Grissom says, blood tells. And all the telling stems from Alex Porteson's locker. Let's talk to him. I'm sure you could come up with some really interesting lies for us, Alex. But let's try the truth. It should be interesting enough.
They're Carrie's clothes, all right. Carrie's blood. It's all Carrie's.
Where is Carrie Kennelly?
If you and Carrie ever really were friends, cut her family a break. They deserve the truth.
Motel, across town.
You left her body in a motel room? It wouldn't have taken us long before we found her. The smell alone.
You don't get it. You're just not that smart.
I'll work real hard at it, Alex. Educate me.
She's not dead. Carrie Kennelly is not dead.
Not dead? All that blood.
You mean you haven't put it all together yet? I mean, you found the jug and the needles, right? I didn't kill Carrie. Carrie killed Carrie.
Are you prepping an insanity plea?
You have to understand. Carrie was born with a silver spoon, but a tarnished one. She's pretty, and her father is famous, and that made her and everything she did tabloid fodder. She had this thing for bad boys, and she took more beatings than a Persian carpet. Her life in a fishbowl really got to her. She wanted a simpler life, but her daddy wanted her to take over the casino, a business Carrie hated. Why Mr. Kennelly refused to consider Lucy, who for all her faults had worked hard for him, I couldn't say. Maybe Lucy wanted it a little too much. And one day, Carrie woke up and she had a dying daddy waiting to burden her with more responsibility than she could ever face. Not to mention a sister who hated her guts, and an upcoming marriage that promised to make her the battered wife poster girl. Lucy, her father, Dubois, they all underestimated her. Behind those blue eyes and that placid personality, Carrie is a clever girl. And she knew she couldn't just leave, or else Dubois and her father would come looking for her. She figured she only had one way out, to fake her own death. It would require some minor plastic surgery and a change of hair color, and a lot of planning and a hell of a lot of nerve. But she relished the thought of putting one over on all these control freaks just ruining her life.
So she met you, a male nurse, with medical knowledge and a sympathetic style, and the two of you saved her blood. It must have taken months.
Ms. Seidel, you're a clever young woman yourself. We drew out only a bit at a time. We stored it in the juice jug you found in the freezer. She slowly thawed it, and then she splashed her blood around everywhere, creating a crime scene that would inevitably lead to her being declared dead.
Then she brought you her bloody clothes to destroy them in the hospital incinerator.
Yes, but then I screwed up. Got busy at work, not daring to attract undue attention, and haven't had a chance to get those clothes to the incinerator. Particularly not with you people underfoot so much. Then you beat me to them.
Why do I think it was your idea to use the knife to frame Dubois?
Well, you're correct about that, Captain. That wasn't like Carrie at all. Took some real convincing. But I couldn't risk him coming after us, not with his temper. And anyway, I convinced her that her murder would be more real if someone paid for it. And that abusing bastard deserved it. I think she felt good about knowing he would never beat up on a woman again.
So what was the plan, after you fooled the world into accepting Carrie's death?
We're in love, Captain. Neither one of us care a damn about the money, just each other. She'd pulled enough out of her accounts to give us a start. We were heading to Aruba to make a new life together.
Well, you won't need money where you'll be going, and you won't be together. You see, just because Dubois is a woman-beating asshole, that doesn't make it cool to frame him for murder. What motel and what room, Alex?
You investigated every possible angle on this case. Doesn't happen often, but I'm very impressed.